Flip your smartwatch over, and you'll find tiny green lights flashing against your wrist. That little light show is how it reads your pulse. No needles, no electrodes, just light. Here's how it works. On the underside of the watch, green LEDs sit right next to light sensors. The LEDs shine green light straight into your skin. Why green? Because blood absorbs green light strongly. The more blood under the sensor, the less green light bounces back. Now add your heartbeat. Every beat pushes a fresh pulse of blood through the vessels in your wrist. So the amount of light reflected back rises and falls in rhythm. A tiny flicker, beat after beat. The sensor reads that flicker hundreds of times a second and turns it into a signal wave. Count the rhythm of the dips, and you have your pulse in beats per minute. The technique is called photoplethysmography. Everyone just says PPG. It literally means light-based pulse reading. But light is easy to fool. Here's what throws it off. Motion. When you run, the watch bounces on your wrist, so workout readings lean on algorithms to clean up the noise. A cold wrist means less blood flow near the skin, so a weaker signal. A loose strap lets stray light leak in, and dark tattoo ink can block the light entirely. One honest note, these readings are estimates, built for fitness and wellness, not medical measurements. If you have a real heart concern, that's a job for a professional, not a wristband. So why does this matter to you? 1. Wear it snug, about a finger above the wrist bone. Good skin contact is the cheapest accuracy upgrade there is. 2. Expect some noise during workouts. A weird spike mid-run is usually the sensor slipping, not your heart. 3. Watch the trend, not one number. Your resting heart rate over weeks says far more than any single reading. So next time those green lights flash, you'll know your watch is reading your blood with light hundreds of times a second. I'll see you in the next one. Can a ring really track your blood pressure with no cuff and no squeezing? The technology is real, but works very differently than you'd expect. Start with the classic arm cuff, the one at the doctor's office. It doesn't guess. It measures directly. It inflates until it squeezes the artery in your arm completely shut. For a moment, no blood gets through. Then it slowly releases, listening for the exact moment blood starts pushing through again. Those pressure points give your real numbers, like 120/80. That's why the cuff is the gold standard. A ring can't squeeze your finger shut, so it does something completely different. It estimates. It uses the same light trick your watch already uses for heart rate. Shine light into your skin and watch the blood pulse with every beat. But instead of just counting beats, it reads the shape of each pulse wave. And here's the key. Higher pressure and stiffer arteries subtly change that shape. An algorithm, trained on huge datasets of pulse waves matched to real cuff readings, converts the features of your wave into a blood pressure estimate. But there's a catch. Most cuffless devices need regular calibration against a real cuff. Readings can drift over time, and accuracy varies from person to person. That's why regulators treat cuffless blood pressure cautiously, promising but not a replacement. So why does this matter to you? 1. Trends. Blood pressure used to be a once-in-a-while number at a checkup. Effortless, all-day trend data is genuinely new, and spotting trends is where these devices shine. 2. It's an estimate. A smooth graph is not a diagnosis, and it doesn't replace a medical cuff. 3. Calibration matters. If your device asks you to recalibrate against a cuff, do it. That's what keeps the estimate honest. Bottom line, the cuff measures, the ring estimates. Use it to watch your trends, and for real blood pressure concerns, see a professional. Now you know what that number on your finger really means. I'll see you in the next one. Your watch says you got 42 minutes of deep sleep last night. But here's the thing, it never actually saw you sleep. So is your sleep tracker lying to you? Let's open it up. Your watch can't see sleep. It collects clues. Clue 1, movement. An accelerometer notices you've been lying still for a long time, and still usually means asleep. Clue 2, heart rate. It drops as you sink into deeper sleep. Clue 3, heart rate variability, the tiny changes in timing between beats. It shifts as you move through the night. And some watches add extras, like skin temperature and blood oxygen. All of those clues feed into an algorithm, which compares your night against patterns learned from thousands of other sleepers. And out comes this, an estimate of your sleep stages, light, deep, and REM, drawn as a chart of your night. Notice the word estimate. The watch never measured your sleep stages. It guessed them from your wrist. Compare that with the gold standard, a sleep lab. There, sensors read your actual brain waves, plus eye movement and muscle tone. That's how sleep stages are really defined. Your wrist can't read brain waves. It's matching clues, and clues can mislead. Lying still with a book can look a lot like light sleep. So here's the honest reality check. Wearables are genuinely good at total sleep time and spotting wake-ups, but only moderate at stage-by-stage accuracy. That sleep score is an estimate, not a diagnosis. So why does this matter to you? 1. The real value is trends. A consistent schedule and enough total sleep, week after week, that's worth watching. Last night's deep sleep minutes? Not so much. 2. Scores aren't comparable between brands. Different sensors, different algorithms. An 82 on one watch is not an 82 on another. 3. Don't let a bad score stress you out. Worrying about sleep is itself bad for sleep. The number is feedback, not a verdict. Bottom line, use your tracker for trends, not perfection. And if sleep problems stick around, that's a conversation for a professional, not an app. Now you know what that sleep score really is, a clever, useful guess. I'll see you in the next one. Your smartwatch has a hidden medical superpower. It can take a real ECG, an actual recording of your heart's electrical activity. Here's how a tiny watch pulls that off. First, the key idea. The watch's everyday pulse sensor uses light. But an ECG is different. Every heartbeat starts with a tiny electrical impulse, and an ECG reads that signal directly. To do it, your watch carries 2 electrodes. The first is on the back, pressed against your wrist. The second is hidden in the crown, that little button on the side. Now, the trick, touch the crown with a finger from your other hand, and you close a circuit across your body. Arm to arm, right through your heart. Hold still for about 30 seconds, and the watch records the rhythm of those electrical impulses, a real rhythm stripped from your wrist. If the impulses arrive steadily, you get a regular result. All good. But if the rhythm is irregular, the watch can flag a pattern that looks like atrial fibrillation, a fib, a common, treatable condition many people don't know they have. And these features are regulator cleared, not gimmicks. Now, the honest scale. A hospital ECG uses 12 leads, 12 electrical angles on your heart at once. Your watch is one lead, one angle. That makes it a screening tool, not a diagnosis. So why does this matter to you? 1. It genuinely catches things early, and there are real cases of lives saved. If your watch flags something, share the recording or the PDF with your doctor. Just remember, a normal result doesn't rule everything out, and a flag isn't a diagnosis. 2. Know which sensor your watch is using. PPG is optical. It counts your beats. ECG is electrical. It sees the rhythm. They answer different questions. 3. Symptoms beat sensors. If you feel chest pain, fluttering, or faintness, see someone. Don't wait for your watch to agree. So, 2 electrodes, 1 circuit through your heart, 30 seconds, and you've got a heart check-in from your wrist anytime you want one. Use it as an early heads-up, never a verdict, and I'll see you in the next one. There's a percentage hiding in your watch's health app. SpO2, your blood oxygen. How does a watch on your wrist measure what's in your blood with nothing but light? Let me show you. First, what the number means. Blood oxygen saturation is simply the percentage of your red blood cells that are carrying oxygen right now. At sea level, healthy is typically around 95 to 100%. And here's the trick that makes it measurable. Oxygen-rich blood and oxygen-poor blood absorb light differently. Blood loaded with oxygen lets more red light through. That's literally why it looks bright red. Oxygen-poor blood absorbs more red light, which is why it looks dark. So your watch shines 2 lights into your wrist, red and infrared. That light travels into your skin and blood, scatters around, and a little of it reflects back to a sensor sitting right next to the LEDs. The watch then compares how much red versus how much infrared made it back. That ratio is the fingerprint of your oxygen level. And out comes your number, ideally sitting in that green zone, 95 to 100%. But let's be honest about the wrist. These readings are finicky, and a few things add noise. Motion blurs the signal. Cold hands or poor circulation weaken it. And a loose strap lets stray light leak in. That's why a fingertip clip, a pulse oximeter, reads more reliably. And it's why one odd reading at night usually means very little. So why does this matter to you? 1. Treat it as a wellness estimate. It's great for spotting trends, like your overnight pattern, not for making medical decisions. 2. You control the quality. A snug strap and a still wrist give you much cleaner readings. 3. Look at patterns, not one-offs. If your readings stay low for days, or you have real breathing concerns, that's a conversation for a professional, not your watch. So, 2 beams of light, 1 clever ratio, and a handy estimate of your blood oxygen. Watch the trend, not a single number. Now you know what that little percentage really means. I'll see you in the next one. Your watch says 10,000 steps. Your phone says 7,400. So which one is lying? Here's the secret. Neither of them is actually counting your steps. Let me show you what they really do. Inside your watch or phone, there's no little odometer. There's an accelerometer, a tiny sensor that feels motion in 3 directions, up, down, forward, back, side to side, hundreds of times a second. And walking has a signature, a rhythmic bounce plus an arm swing at roughly 2 beats every second. The software hunts for that repeating pattern and counts each cycle as 1 step. Peak, peak, peak. Step, step, step. Random jiggle with no rhythm. Rejected. No steps counted. That's the whole trick. And that trick is exactly why it miscounts. Push a shopping cart or a stroller, and your hands are pinned. No arm swing means the watch misses real steps. Undercount. Chop vegetables, or brush your teeth with enthusiasm. That's rhythmic arm motion, and it looks exactly like walking. Overcount. And phone versus watch? Your pocket and your wrist literally feel different motion. They will never agree, and neither one is the liar. Distance is even fuzzier. It's just your steps times an estimated stride length, which walks with GPS help calibrate. And calories? An even rougher estimate stacked on top of that. Now the big one. The 10,000 step rule didn't come from science. It came from 1960s Japanese marketing, a pedometer called the Manpoke, literally the 10,000 step meter. Research since then shows the health benefits climb well before 10,000. More is generally better, but there is no magic line. So why does this matter to you? 1. The absolute number is fuzzy, but the trend is reliable. Same wrist, same bias, every day. So an up week versus a down week is real information. 2. Don't switch devices and compare. A new sensor means a new bias, and your numbers will jump for no real reason. 3. Aim for consistency, not a magic number. Beating your own average matters more than hitting 10,000. So yes, your step counter is a little bit wrong, but it's wrong the same way every day. And a consistently wrong number you check daily beats a perfect one you ignore. See you in the next one. You trip hard and hit the floor. 20 seconds later, your watch is asking if you're okay, and it's ready to call an ambulance for you. How does a watch know you've fallen? Let me show you. Inside your watch, an accelerometer and a gyroscope are feeling motion constantly. Every bump, twist, and swing of your wrist all day long. And a real fall has a signature. It starts with a sudden, hard impact spike, way harder than sitting down fast or dropping onto the couch. Then comes a tumble. The gyroscope feels your wrist rotating in a way normal movement just doesn't. And then the giveaway, stillness. After a real fall, people usually stop moving, at least for a moment. Impact, tumble, stillness. When all 3 line up, the watch makes the call. This looks like a fall. Now, the escalation starts. The watch taps your wrist, sounds an alarm, and asks the question, "Are you okay?" With a countdown running. If you move around or just dismiss it, the alarm cancels and nothing happens. No call, no drama. But if you stay unresponsive until the countdown hits 0, the watch calls emergency services, shares your exact location, and alerts your emergency contacts. Crash detection in cars works the same way, just with much bigger signals. Massive deceleration, the sound of a crash in the cabin, and GPS speed dropping to 0 all at once. And yes, false alarms happen. Slam your hand on a table or ride a roller coaster. There are famous stories of coasters triggering accidental emergency calls. That's exactly why the countdown exists and why the thresholds are tuned conservatively. Some watches even keep the automatic call switched off for younger users by default. So why does this matter to you? 1. Turn it on for older relatives. On some watches, it's only fully automatic for older users, so check the setting. Don't assume it's on. 2. Know how to cancel. A false alarm is harmless if you dismiss it, and a wasted ambulance trip if you don't. 3. This feature has genuinely saved lives. Solo cyclists, falls at home. The watch called for help when nobody else could. So your watch isn't watching you. It's feeling for one very specific pattern: impact, tumble, stillness. And when it finds it, it makes sure someone knows. Check that setting on your watch and on your parents' watches today. See you in the next one. Your watch knows when you sleep, how hard your heart works, where you run, even cycle data. That's some of the most intimate information you generate. So where does it actually go after it leaves your wrist? Let's follow it. It starts on your wrist. All day, the sensors quietly log heart rate, sleep stages, workout routes, and whatever else you've switched on. First stop, your phone's health store, the hub built into the big platforms. And here's some genuinely good news. Much of this data is processed and stored on the device itself, or encrypted in your account's cloud backup. But that first stop isn't the whole story. The bigger story is permissions. Any third-party app you connect, a fitness coach, a diet tracker, a workplace wellness challenge, receives exactly the data you granted. And from that moment on, your copy of that data lives under that app's privacy policy. The watchmaker's rules no longer apply. Some of those apps fund themselves through ads and data partnerships. That's not an accusation, it's a business model, and it's usually written right there in the policy. Now, the legal wrinkle. Medical records laws like HIPAA protect health data held by doctors, hospitals, and insurers. But most consumer fitness apps are not covered by those laws. For them, the privacy policy is the real contract. And those insurance wellness programs that trade discounts for your activity data, they're real and they're opt-in. Just read what you're trading before you agree. So why does this matter to you? 1. Audit your permissions. Your phone's health settings list every app that can read your data. 5 minutes, and revoke anything you don't use. 2. Prefer on-device and encrypted options when your platform offers them. Data that never leaves your hands can't be shared by anyone. 3. Think before you connect. A new app means a new contract, and the watchmaker's privacy promises don't travel with your data. The takeaway: your health data is safest at its first stop. After that, every connection is a choice, and it's yours to make. And that wraps your body on tech. If this episode got you thinking, our privacy and security series picks up exactly here, starting with how the web follows you around. See you there.